Hi, you guys. I was actually about to go to sleep because I was excited that I did not have to make time to do some of the things that I usually have to do every single day. Um, and I had some time to rest. Um, but excuse me, something was like lingering onto me when I thought about what was going on with my life and how I started seeing things for what they are for people who were around me. Um, I have a lot of people who I think that I thought was friends. More and more, I see more and more um, that they are not friends. They are enemies. Not people who are like, in between. They are total enemies. Prime example, okay? And I'm not even going to tell the story. I'm going to tell you some scenarios to look at. And some of these scenarios could be something that I went through, but not always, okay? If someone sees you and you're going for an interview and you have your skirt in the back tucked in your blouse, like your skirt is tucked in to where your undergarments are showing, and you're not looking your best, and your friend is next to you, who you could consider your friend, instead of them telling you, they say nothing. They say nothing the entire time. They let you come out of going into the interview looking that way, come out of the interview that way, go to the store looking that way, come back, meet other people looking that way, and you don't find out until you go to the restroom and you notice. Okay? And then you come out and you ask them and they say, "Oh, well, I thought you knew and it was like that from way back when." That's a clear indication of someone who is not your friend. Okay? If someone comes only wants you to go to their house, um, and they go and visit other people, they find other ways to visit other people, but they don't come to your house unless they need something or they're in a mode of desperation. That's not your friend. You're their therapist. You're their therapist, and you're the person that they lean on and they dump on you. That is not your friend. That is not your friend. That is not your friend, okay? If you have a business, people gonna talk about this. It ain't going the same way that people think. But if you have a business and the the other person doesn't have a business, you're encouraging them to have a business, and once they get an idea, they don't want to share the plans and the layouts and go into the resources that you're asking them that they're asking for you to have for them, and you're giving them, but they're very seclusive about what they're doing, but they're telling other people and not you. Honey, you are not their friend. You are not their friend, okay? They see you as competition. Shouldn't even be that way, but I promise you it is, okay? Um, if you guys live in different places and one might live in a high rise, the other one might live in a home, and um how can I say this? The one that's in the home is saying that the one that's in the high rise is trying to live like the Joneses, and they're not doing this, and they should be living like everyone else, even though that's their choice. And guess what? That's not your friend, because they're not telling you that. They're telling other people that. If they're telling other people that, if they're telling you that, then that's different. Vice versa. If the person in the high rise is saying that the person that is in the home needs to, you know, live extravagant or do something else or do more, that's no. Okay. Um, if if you um are I'll go back to the business thing. If you have a business and you are doing the same thing, you're putting out a certain type of product. Say for instance, you make basketballs. Good, okay? Your friend plays basketballs. Not only that, they order basketballs from other people and their vendor is done or they stopped, right? And they know that you sell basketballs and your basketballs are the best in town. Instead of them coming to you, they go and pay another person that they don't even know or they don't like, or your nemesis, the person that you and them don't get along with. They go and use their business and get the basketballs from them instead of funding you, and then tell you and brag to you about the balls that they got from someone else. Okay, understand, they are not your friend. 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 Or they only come, oh, I got this one. Let me take this one back. Or they come to, let's see, they never get a chance to come to your home, but they can find other ways to get to other people's home, right? Then all of a sudden they show up at your home after everything is done, after they've had all the partying. They didn't invite you to the party. They talked to you before, did not invite you to the party, but then they come over to your home and they bring someone else over, and it's really like they're more investigating your home and not seeing what you were doing. Didn't invite you to the party, didn't invite you to anything. Understand, you are not their friend. I had to learn that. There are a lot of other instances that people go through. Those were the ones that I can think of on the top of my head. Some of them actually happened, some of them didn't happen, and some of them happened to other people. But those were clear indications of not classifying someone as a friend when they're actually a hater. Give me 1 second. I need to go plug this computer before I get into it. Sorry, guys. During my journey, this was one of the toughest things that I ever had to learn, because I used to think that everyone was my friend, and that even, especially like older people too, if they had, experience, if they already been in the field, that these people will be very uplifting and very, because they're successful, they're going to help you, they're going to mentor you. And a lot of people, you have to be honest, like a lot of people don't want that. A lot of people are still fighting for their time and their spotlight and all of that. When you go into dimensions of developing your life, you really see who and what is for you. And not only that, how to navigate the relationship, because every relationship that is kind of toxic is not worth getting rid of totally. A toxic relationship is honestly a perception. Now, there are some relationships that you need to not have at all. Total agreement, because they're not, whatever is putting it out, the benefits are way less than what is being given. Like the benefits of it is way less than what you're investing into. But like I said, not all toxic relationships need to be excluded or terminated. Because of that, a lot of people fail because they've been hurt. And I had to learn that too, because you've been hurt constantly. And you're like, I don't want to have any part of this, because I want to live on the up and up. I want to, I should be successful to and be okay living on the up and up. But God really tells us to be gentle. Oh my goodness. How did I forget that? God tells us how to be gentle as doves. Oh my goodness. I forgot the quote, the scripture that quick, y'all. Like, but anywho, I'll put it in the description yet. But it's gentle as wise as serpents, gentle as doves, harmless as doves. So, oh, thank goodness, thank you, God. Because of that, a serpent, a person who is who has the mind of a serpent, they're very clever. They know that in order to get things done, you just can't have everyone who balances out and who looks and talks and feels and believes the same way that you do. If you look at most of the celebrities or the most of the people who made prominence in their culture and in their land, they had to connect with people who were not also like-minded, but people who were not like-minded, because they had a skill. And it's because God is pouring his spirit out on every single person, like every single person, whether they believe in him or not. Everyone has a gift. And just because you believe does not mean that the gift is less valuable. God does not, he gives without repentance. So that means he gives that gift freely. And it's up to us to develop it and navigate it and mature it to a level of excellence. And sometimes it's not people who believe, and it's not people who feel the same way that you do. So what do you do when that happens? For me, what I do is limit my contact with them, because when I find out that the relationship is not what I thought it was, the illusions have been broken, or they had wanted to break the illusion of and change their mindset, or me changing my mindset, I understand that two like things have to go together in order to go to the next level. So what I do is just slightly distance myself. Doesn't mean that I'm less friendlier. I might, instead of hanging out or speaking to someone every single day, take some steps back, take a deep breath, reanalyze the situation, and then see where you could have less contact with them and still get the things that you need to get done with them. If it's a business relationship, keep it strictly business and limit. If you formed outside things, keep that to a minimum and limit that time that you have with them. That way the impact is a little bit greater. You get things done that need to get done, and you don't jeopardize the friendship if it's valuable, if it has meaning, if it has some kind of value to it. The second thing that I do is to make sure, I know this should be, it probably sounds like it should be first, but to me, it's not first. When I feel something that is wrong, I separate. I don't think twice anymore. I separate. Okay. There's a reason behind that. But once you separate, the second thing you want to do is to reanalyze that situation. Was it other factors that came in that made the relationship or the dynamic different? Was it another variable or another person that interacted that made, the situation difficult or, not pleasing? I had a relationship with one person who, it seems like we were fine if it was me and the other individual with people that we did not know. But if it was people that we did know, or people who had something against me that I didn't know, it would seem like they wouldn't have too much to say to me, or, anything like that. And then when they're gone, and then it's like within the same breath, it's like, okay, this and that and that and this. So understand what that is. What else? Third, don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. It's something that they're looking for that you can't give. And it might be something that you have and they want and they can't get it. You never know what's in someone else's head, and it's not up to us to find out. What is up to us is to live the best life that we possibly can by develop ourselves through the experiences and navigating through this lifespan. So don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. I know that sounds very harsh, but don't. 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 Everybody's not for everyone. And once you understand that, you won't have to say why. You won't have to, nope, be done. The fourth thing I do is to have more alone time with myself. I don't rush into trying to find someone else to fill that void. Yes, it's going to feel like a hole in your heart when people leave you and they come out of your life. It's going to feel like a void. I don't give a care if it was toxic or not, especially if it was a good relationship and then you just grew apart. It's going to feel like a hole, but that process is teaching you, if you've grown apart or things are different, it's teaching you that you guys can't walk together. It's certain things that you need to learn and you need to grasp and go into the next dimension and the next level. So it's better for you to do that. Yeah. It's better for you to do that than to try to fill up that void with returning back to the situation or filling that hole with someone else that is more toxic and more cunning than the last person, Fifth is, I did say give it some time to fill the void. Fifth is just understanding the process, embracing that process. You're gonna feel anger. You're gonna feel denial. You're gonna feel anger. You're gonna feel all types of things. You're gonna feel so much. When I say so much, you're gonna feel so much, and yeah, you're gonna feel so much, but going through it and working through it step by step and following through the process, I can't be any happier to know that I've overcame a lot of obstacles that came during, meeting someone people who I thought was my friend and weren't. Six, embrace the happiness. Be the happiest that you can possibly be. I'm not saying jump around, the fake happiness, that kind of thing. Sometimes it takes that because I'm kind of a jumpy, that kind of person sometimes. So I can understand that. But enjoy life, enjoy yourself. And guess what? You're going to attract the right type of people. Have you ever went into a room and you're around someone who at first it looks like you guys have equal energy and you're talking and all of a sudden you feel like this, like, oh, okay, that means that they're draining you. You don't want to be around that. Not at all. I don't even care what it is. I don't care who it is. I have some family members that I have to be like, oh, time to cut off. Bye. I'll talk to you later, because they will sit there and they will nag and they will talk and they will complain and they will drain you out over things that they could deal with, but they choose not to, but they choose to put you and try to make you go through the whole process of their toxic relationships and their toxic situations over the phone. That's not going to happen, buddy. Not with me. And no one else should do that. I don't give a care if it's your own mother. Everyone has time to deal with the issues that they have on hand. And that's one thing. Like, if you don't, you're going to be like a dumpster. And that's why a lot of people do that. I had to catch myself because I was feeling like I was somebody's emotional dumpster. And you'll start finding out if you keep going through that process and you don't analyze things and you let people emotionally dump on you, you will feel weighed down, and to the point that you almost feel like you're breaking down. And then you feel this clarity once it cut off, because when you're too full, no one wants to put any more trash in you. When you're full, you're useless now. Nobody want to take it to the trash can, so either it overflows, it gets knocked over, you're empty again. And guess what? You feel so relieved when you don't have other people's business and things on there, because most of that stuff is not your problem, So, yeah, embrace that, embrace your happiness, and you'll have the right tribe to come to you. And after that, you will not, I promise you this, you will not want to ever go back. Some of the situations I look at, I'm like, how did I even go through this? How did this even happen? Like, is this for real? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. So, yeah, those are uh, some of the ways you can tell a hater from a friend, and how do you deal with it. I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned, how to deal with it. Sometimes it is, being by yourself, regrouping, regenerating, because it takes a lot of work. So, excuse me. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. I don't have to call my mom, so you will not have a video with my mother because she'll be calling me. So usually I don't record those just because it takes a lot of time. I don't know what time she's calling. They usually try to switch it up a lot. They'll tell her, oh, she can call this time. They'll be very, very time changing. They'll just the same thing that they do to me about calling 10 minutes later and 9 minutes later and all that. The same thing that they do to her. So that's why I don't record. It's a little bit more of a hassle. But I thank you guys so much for tuning in, and thank you so much for calling. Hopefully something I said or done will help you on your journey. And please stay tuned to Journey to Jerusalem. Thank you so much. Bye.